out now and we will continue. Please ask also questions.
There seems to be evidence of fire.
Yes, there was fire. Yeah. Basically, they set fire everywhere, or in many places. You will see the evidence of places that were like my parents' house was buried to the ground, and most probably they cut the pipe from the gas, put it into the house, and then set it on fire, and that just made sure it burned and burned and burned and burned. So I don't think it happened here, but it certainly on purpose set fire. They came very low, meaning there was a folder that was found here by my brother that showed the plan. It was planned. They knew where things were. They knew what they were doing. It was premeditated. It was carefully planned. We were naive. We believed, the government told us that they're not going to do it, and the army told us it will protect us. We have to remember that Nir Oz, you're standing in the heart of what went wrong. Not one bullet was shot by the security services, the army, the police, during the whole day until they went. They were very brave, emergency group here that were protecting, and they were wiped out immediately. There were 4 or 5 or 6 of them against hundreds of military combatants with very advanced weapons. So they had no chance. In short, so many of the people here that died were those who tried to protect because they were outnumbered. The army did not arrive here until about 2:30. By the time they arrived, they were gone. And when I say they, I don't just mean the Nokhba, which is the Hamas militant, but I mean also followed by hundreds and hundreds of Shabab, which are civilians. Don't ask me how I know it, because I'm going to tell you. My mom told me. So when my mom is being taken, there are hundreds of Shabab coming towards her. That means men, but also women and children. And we know that they come with sticks and stones, that actually the Hamas militants that are taking her are protecting her from the Shabab. Yeah? And this is something that a lot of the returning hostages also talk about, the fear, the immense fear of being found by civilians and being slaughtered alive, basically. But here in this kibbutz, there were the Hamas, and they were followed by civilians that came to take laptops and perfumes, but also to take hostages, also to murder and torture, really in the most horrific ways. We have the evidence for all of that because, my kibbutz member, who I knew all my life, have seen those bodies, have seen the mutilation of these bodies. So I'm trying to tell you, forget about 10 months of media. Forget it. Forget Al Jazeera, forget CNN, forget. Stick with me here, because all I'm going to show you is only what I know because my mom told me, or because my brother told me, or because other members of the kibbutz told me. I'm not going to tell you anything that is not backed by people I know all my life and their evidence. And I think it's important. And I'm not trying to say that because what is happening in Gaza now is this or that or the other, because we need to stick here to the facts. There's so many people that are trying to twist this story, and this story is complicated when you look at all the region around it. But what happened here on Kibbutz Nir Oz on the 7th of October is worth learning alone in itself, and just taking it whole, taking it in face value, because it's really, really an essential piece of the puzzle. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Do you know if Palestinians who worked on this kibbutz were among those who attacked and killed people?
We don't have evidence of that. We know that some of them spied because we know what they know, but
and that's I'm going to tell you. Hamas, I tell you that because my father had many Palestinian friends. He had many people from the Palestinian Authority who were lifelong friends of his. There are people that I know that have been in touch with us through other people since. So my father knew people in Gaza. He was devastated when Hamas took over. Hamas threw over the roofs people after he shot them in the knees, and they threw PLO activists off the roof. Yeah, my father was in no doubt that this is a horrendous religious fanatic, jihadist organization that is against all values that we stand for. Yeah, and so when you look at that, you think, what choice, if a man gets a license to work in Kibbutz Nir Oz, what choice has he got when he is under such a regime? Yeah, so even if he himself would be against it, his livelihood, his family, his children, they're all part of a horrendous totalitarian regime. So I'm not even kind of holding them responsible in that sense. It will be too small an incident to hold it against them. Yeah, we have we need to find ways to protect people from extremism. I mean, you're coming from America, good luck to you. You are in a point at which democracy itself is being attacked. Israel is at the point at which democracy itself is being attacked. In Palestine, if it now rises, it will be a proxy of Iran. If you are pro-Palestinian, you surely do not want them to be just another proxy of Iran. And so all people who believe in liberal values, who believe in the rule of law, who believe in the right of human being for a decent life, and who believe that above all we are humans rather than just tribes, all of us need to come together and protect those liberal values. That's what I would say, or that's what I would say on behalf of my father. But my father had many friends in Palestine, lived a life of building bridges, and spoke Arabic pretty well. We keep hoping that it's helping him now when he's there. And you can see, if some of you remember, when my mom came back, she shook the hand of the Hamas militant. And she did that because she made a distinction between civilians and between organizations, and that man was kind to her at that moment. He was a human being, she was a human being, and she saw their shared humanity. And I think it's important to remember that we have to go for shared humanity, that this kibbutz was and still is about shared humanity.
Thank you so much.
Shall we go get some fresh air?